This is America, and ever since your mother suffered excruciating pain pushing you out of her birth canal, you've done what all Americans do. Push boundaries. So why play it safe when it comes to your fireworks? This Independence Day, shop Shroom Eternal for all your firework needs. It's the only American brand pushing the boundary on how far our boundaries can be pushed. Every 4th of July, that dickhead Terry from across the street can't help but brag about the show he's gonna put on for the whole neighborhood.
It's no big deal. Business has been so good this year. I can claim it. This is just a small.
Just download the app, sign the waiver, build a bunker, and submit your order. Within 12 hours, you will have the firework to end all fireworks. Shroom Eternal. End the hesitation. End the competition. End it all.
Let's all go to the movie.
Harmonicon presents a podcast.
Hey,
Wanna come front?
Prostaskis!
What did you just say?
Start off by saying welcome, everybody, to
Welcome.
another episode of Harmonicon Studios Presents.
A movie podcast.
Ka-ching. It's your boys, Harmonicon Studios. I am Damon,
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Farron.
and today we are going to be covering Blade. We're going to finish off our Black Superhero Month with probably the most successful of all the Black superhero movies, Wesley Snipes and Blade.
What about Black Panther?
I should have said of the 90s. I forgot to add that.
That's a
part.
good
It was-
caveat,
We
yeah.
were going through the 90s.
We did kind of have like a 20-year lull, I guess, when you think about it, from what Blade is 98, and then
Well, Blade 3 was like 2000.
2005, I
Four?
4 or 5,
Yeah.
I
it was
believe.
2004, but
Look, I mean, he was in it
yeah.
That's true. And
for most of it.
Yeah. Watching Blade, I came to realize I really only remembered Blade 3, even though I think I've seen all three. So it was just like, oh.
Yeah, I kind of feel you on that one. Like as much as it pains me, like when I do think of Blade, it is that last one. It's just because it was
Really?
the last one. He slowly now is kind of becoming like Deadpool and Wolverine's like Blade, but I'm like, oh yeah. Like just when you say think of Blade,
Yeah.
like it just immediately like when I think of Wesley Snipes' Blade,
You think two, yeah.
like I just think of him in that outfit from 3
Yeah.
more so than I think of like the events of 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know, like, because 3 sucked.
Right.
I think we all know this. No one is questioning that.
I've never seen it from like beginning
Like
to
totality.
end, but I've seen enough pieces of it where I'm like, I don't think there's any missing pieces for me that would make it better. You know, it's pretty understandable that from the clips that I've seen, is like this movie's pretty bad.
Yeah, I remember watching it in theaters, and it was. Oh yeah, because you couldn't get into it. You guys-
Yeah, so that's a little story. So when we were in
Whoa.
high school, because the movie came out in 2004, and we went to go see it. In 2004, you would have been 17, and I was still. I don't even think I turned 15 yet. So they wouldn't let us in. And so me and Matt and like another one of our friends had to go to a different movie. And I think we went to go, that was the day that we saw Incredibles. Because we couldn't see Blade Trinity because we got kicked out. And then
Wow.
you and the rest of the guys got to see Blade Trinity.
I'd have rather gone to see Incredibles. If going back now, like I'd have had that like
Hindsight,
moment
yeah.
of knowing, I'm like, All right, let's go see
Right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Let's not waste our time here.
Yeah.
So is that why 2004 is such a hard date for you?
You mean for Blade? or
Blade,
for- No, I just there are just some movies for some reason that I can just remember the dates of release pretty vividly. And I don't know why that stands out to me. It could be because I didn't get to go see it, and had to see Incredibles instead.
Missing
That happened a couple times though.
Missing nothing. But it still tickles me that he had such a falling out with the director.
Yeah.
That he refused to be around him. And then at the very end of the movie, he just laid there and they
Wouldn't
had
open
that
his eyes.
digitally place eyes on top of his eyes to make it look like. I remember being in the theater and being like, that looks weird, but not knowing the backstory of it, I couldn't tell you why it was weird until I found that out, and I was like, that's why.
That's what it was.
That's the weirdness right
That
there.
will explain it.
This
That'll
movie
do
does
it.
not have any of that though. But before we get into that, just wanted to see how you fellas have been doing. It's fine morning.
Yeah, it is. I appreciate you guys being flexible with that. I baked some Cookie Monster cookies for my niece. So as her first birthday. She's super. I mean, she turns 1 Monday.
Okay.
So I forgot that's why their birthday party they shifted it to Saturday. And so she loves Sesame Street, dude. She just I was watching her one day and I put on this YouTube video for Sesame Street. I didn't even realize it was YouTube at first. And I guess Sesame Street does this thing where they do the letter of the day, and it goes through all 26 letters, dude. And I was sitting there, mind numbing, the letter of the day is I, and it would go through the same thing, the same beat, and it just got into my soul, and I'm like, hey, it's the letter of the day, and she's just digging it, man. It's she doesn't get habituated to it like we do as adults. But yeah, one of the things that my sister had asked, hey, can you do this Cookie Monster cookie? And it did not. I'll put a picture up once I'm editing the episode. It did not turn out the way that I had hoped. One, because the first batch that I did, I used too much blue dye.
Oh.
So it's just it's more I think Grover and Cookie Monster are kind of the same hue of blue pretty much. So it's a really deep blue. The second one I use is a little bit lighter. But the main issue is that I got these candy googly eyes, but I bought ones that are too small.
Oh.
So they're just these super small beady eyes on the cookie. And it doesn't look great.
Oh no!
But my sister, she's a doll, and I sent her a picture, and she was like, "Oh, these are so cute." But I feel like I do wonder inside.
Was she just lying to you?
Yeah, she's like, "These, no one eats these. They're terrible."
Did he get his image of Cookie Monster from Temu? What's
Right.
going on here? What?
Well, one of the things I did is I went to the store and got just some Nestle Toll House cookies, mini chocolate chip cookies, and that was just so that I could bake those, and then I would cut them in half and then put them in the cookie as if he has a cookie coming out of his mouth, and then everything else was
Very
just
fun.
homemade. Well, I shouldn't say everything else was homemade. I also got some very thin Oreos and put that in the same sort of slot as the mini chocolate chip cookie, so that he's just stuffing all these
Just
cookies
some
in his mouth.
variety.
But
Nice.
it's the eyes, dude. It's the eyes that really I screwed up. So
I screwed up, but anyway,
yes,
you tried your
I.
best. I'm sure she.
I mean, she's 1 year old. I don't think she's gonna be like.
Yeah, I don't think the kid's gonna notice.
I don't think at 21, she's gonna be like, those old messed up Cookie Monster cookies you eat.
they're so bad that she just
It's a core
excuse
memory.
me, mother. Who brought the Cookie Monster cookies? Whoa.
All of her
Just immediately
neurons.
comes online.
It just snaps too.
That's not the Cookie
Oh, I'm
Monster.
aware of this more. What the heck is this Cookie Monster cookie?
Well, this is nightmare fuel. I don't know why she would sound like that, but
She's an incredibly sophisticated young woman.
super sophisticated. But that's so that's got that going on afterwards. What about you guys?
Nice. I'm doing all right. Went to the old Marvel's pre-release last night
Oh,
for
oh, oh, oh.
Magic.
For Magic.
Yes, sir.
I've been looking at those cards. I've been like, do I want to attempt, or do I just want to because I don't know, Magic is so hard to get a hold of cards.
Yeah.
You just gotta be like, I'm still thinking about those Final Fantasy cards, and they've been gone.
But if you want to look through some of the ones I got, feel free. But it was the best best sealed event I'd ever done. because it was the Incredible Ant-Man was my hero.
The Incredible Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Is that
he
actually
was-
the full name of the card?
He's blue and a green, and then whenever you draw,
Interesting.
put a +1 counter on it, and then you can pay 2 and a green, tap it, remove any amount of counters, make that many 1/1 green insects. Pretty good. Just
Yeah.
to keep drawing, and it gets bigger and bigger. So
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because I think a lot of the Marvel cards, the color is based more so off of like their what they're going to be doing as opposed to
like who they
like
are. Yeah.
their color scheme and things like that. So it does make sense that he'd be blue green.
Okay.
Because I know like the Captain America, and I think U.S. Agent and somebody else. I think they're all white.
Yep. And then like a little blue sprinkled in sometimes. Tony Stark is blue and red because it's all about artifact stuff.
That's interesting.
I think, Jane, Lady Thor, Jane, she's white and blue. Sentry, I pulled Sentry, he's white. And then he makes the Void. So I don't know I don't know the lore
It's
about
weird,
that
so
one.
it should be
but-
white and black, but
Well, the Void is
I
a
would have thought
black
it was
because
like white and
they're
blue
those
or
things.
something like that for Century. Like, because I would have thought black and red for Ant-Man. Because I'm just thinking about like MCU colors,
that's what I was saying. Like,
Oh, like
Yeah,
the
like
air
the
color
color
scheme.
scheme.
as
Yeah.
opposed to, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and also with
that's
Iron
fair.
Man, I would have thought like plains and mountain rather than blue and mountain.
That's
like I'm
true.
sure he has variations of armors that have been like blue and red or whatnot, but is the Incredible Ant-Man like an iteration of Ant-Man in the more recent Marvel stories, or has he always had that?
Epithet? Yeah.
Is that what?
I don't know. Could be like a shoulder armor
don't-
piece. That's
Oh, you
epaulet,
asking like if
maybe?
he's called the Incredible Ant-Man?
Yeah, like the Amazing
No.
Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man, the Incredible Ant-Man.
No, I'm pretty sure anything dealing with Ant-Man has just been Ant-Man.
Okay.
Mostly because he comes from, like, his origin is from Tales of Strange, and then he became an Avenger, and then like he's very rarely ever had like solo books. But I'm pretty sure any solo book, whether it's been Scott or
Hank.
Hank, has just been Ant-Man or Ant-Man and Wasp.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Mr. Rudd put him on the map. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, I would definitely say like the interest in Ant-Man picked up because of the movies, which Marvel did. I think, and just on the side, like Marvel did a really good job of being like, we can't use the A-listers that are the X-Men, Spider-Man, and Fantastic Four. So we're going to take these like lesser known, like I should, well, they are lesser known.
Yeah.
But like, let's take these C tier dudes and like make stories
them
out
up.
of them. And then
Yeah.
as soon as people did, they're like to know that like Becca down the street now knows who Ant-Man is because of Paul Rudd, when she would have never known who Ant-Man was if
Right,
you never
yeah,
got a
right,
movie.
right.
Is like, I think that's pretty big. DC could learn something instead of constantly reiterating Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman like 50 million times every single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it does make sense because like with blue and like summoning is kind of a big thing. Like proliferation of,
Yeah, just like ramp and
yeah.
like just
like
yeah.
that makes sense why he would be that color, because ants.
Yeah. Yeah. And then insects have been historically green. So there you go. But yeah, that's me.
Cool.
You, sir?
I've been watching movies, not just the movies we're covering,
Yeah.
but
Nice.
movies. So I got 3 movies lined up for So What the Hell Was.
Ooh.
Thinking about changing the name of it. Because I kind of like the idea of Tales from the Blockbuster.
Okay.
Because usually the movies I'm watching are movies that you probably would have like watched, like having walked through like a Blockbuster and been like, you know, I guess I'll pick that up. As opposed to like, oh, I'm going out to go watch
Solar
Double
Babies.
Dragon. Like, so they are Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
Ooh.
which I watched.
Why are you doing this to yourself, man?
The content, I guess.
Is it masochism or
it for you.
sadomasochism that is like deriving pleasure from inflicting
There
pain
was
on
no
yourself?
pleasure. There was no
masochism.
pleasure.
It's masochism. Sadomasochism is deriving pleasure from inflicting it on other people.
Well, that's I
think
think
that's-
just straight sadism.
I think that's sadism.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was like a
But I
different.
think
There might be,
sadomasochism probably also is along that line.
Okay.
Can be
Yeah, there was no
layers.
pleasure. It was just pain.
Oh.
A movie from the 70s called The Champions of Justice, which is a lucha libre movie in which a bunch of luchadors made a movie. Apparently, luchadors make a lot of movies.
Okay.
Made a lot of movies back in the day.
Gotcha.
Like, so, like, in addition to being like wrestling superstars, a lot of them are also like Mexican movie stars.
Yeah, just like cultural forces, I guess.
So the one I watched, it was kind of like seeing like if the Avengers of Lucha Libre got together.
That's kind of sick.
And they had to take on this dude who had a bunch of little people that he made as strong as 10 athletes each.
Okay. That's a premise.
Yeah.
I can see why there was no pleasure.
This one was goofy.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Not so much.
Just horrible.
Yeah,
And then last one I watched, which I was watching along with Next last night, was Super Lady Cop, which is a 1991, I think, Hong Kong.
Is that Michelle Yao?
No, it is Cynthia Khan. And premise of that one is that it's almost like Akira. These people have been experimented on and gained just like a variety of abilities. Like the basic key ones are super strength and like kind of like super speed to some degree. But they also can they all have different, there's like 4 of them and each of them kind of have like different things a little bit, but they can kind of telepathically know where each other are.
That's cool.
3 of them escape the lab and they go off to Hong Kong from mainland China because the lab was originally up near like the China-Russia border. So they can go down to Hong Kong and they start like killing people. And one of them is the landlord from Kung Fu Hustle, Yuen Wah.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
The guy who was a floaty feather dude?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he just stays having superpowers, huh?
And but Cynthia Khan's character she becomes a cop and she's tasked with like coming to get them. But she runs into this other cop who is kind of thrust into the situation. But she has a gun that they call an amnesia gun, which you can just shoot somebody and they forget a set number of things.
Men in Black.
Dude, that was just, yep.
Except like instead of just like a little thing, it's like an actual just gun. It's just
Yeah.
but she accidentally gets shot with it, so she forgets what she was doing for a little bit, which kind of like unfrosts her attitude for a little bit, so that they can not get together, but like they become more friendly with each other, and then a bunch of fighting starts. There's a great little scene in it because I don't know. I guess China has a thing for Street Fighter, but. At one point, one of the crazy dudes, like one of the dudes that escaped, goes crazy. And he imagines that him and her are fighting, but he turns into Guile and she turns into Chun-Li.
Oh, wow.
Then they just have like a fight. And I should say, like, there's great choreography in it, but they like choose to like try to make it look like it's a superpower thing by like speeding up footage.
Oh, very
This is
fun.
91.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's a technique, I guess.
Right.
But that's what I was doing. Was watching a whole bunch of movies.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah,
I'm
me
excited
too.
to, man. That's interesting. So they escape and they just start killing people indiscriminately.
They're like also like robbing. They're trying to basically.
So they're not
like,
doing anything good. Like
they're not. They're basically trying to like get themselves as far away as possible, but they go down to Hong Kong first to like amass money so that they can get away by robbing and killing people.
Of course. I mean, you get the strength of 10 athletes, man. Just run.
Well, they have more than the strength of 10 athletes. But the little people masquerading as like henchmen for that dude. They had the strength of 10 athletes, which I didn't understand because there were also 3 like full-sized like luchador men that were also evil, but they didn't get the power of the 10 athletes.
Maybe they were just so strong already they didn't need it.
Could it be possible that they had the reflexes that were 500 times that of Mike Tyson?
I mean, it's very possible to have the. I mean, not a normal person would, but certain people can't get the reflexes. Speed
One
of
day
500
we will
times.
do Versus, and you will understand all of it.
Okay.
Some of the craziest lines I think ever. That line will always get me. My reflexes are 500 times that of Mike Tyson's.
Was that when he was in
That
his
was
prime?
literally, huh?
Was that when Mike Tyson was that Iron Mike Tyson?
The funniest thing is that movie came out in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was like
Okay, all right, never mind. I was like, oh, it makes sense if he had just won his title or his belt.
Yeah, it was just this. It was in the film. There was this cop who would just gloat and make some of the. It's crazy because they would cut away from them, and then when they would come back, he would just make some other sort of like wild claim about his capabilities. It was just ridiculous, and that was one of them.
I almost said Versus for the last movie of July. But I like Rubber instead. Because I haven't gotten to see that one yet. So
It's a good one.
So wild.
It is crazy. Sneak peek, folks.
Yeah, July is going to be a good one.
But
Boop, 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 boop. Think my dude's got a brain teaser. What was that? That's Nickelodeon.
yeah, you just got sued, buddy.
Yep.
Whoa, get him. Get him.
But
Bear's not on the podcast anymore.
He got sued into oblivion.
he got individually sued.
Dan Schneider came
Him
to his house.
specifically underneath the bus.
Show me a picture of your feet. I'll let you go.
I didn't need that noise.
Yeah, right? Associated with like, oh boy.
But he is correct. Got a game for you fellas.
Oh, not about
Not that. I mean, probably.
Foot-licking game.
I'm sure somebody out there is like, that happened. But I have a game for you fellas.
Okay.
We like to call this one same actor, different character.
Damon Original.
Yeah, Damon Original. Yeah.
Pizza.
You probably are going to get this one, just simply because of the plot itself, as opposed to who's in it. Because I end up having to make them a bit more like directed towards the movie, as opposed to the way that like the explain the movie plot poorly goes. Just simply because I have to include
All the
the
actors.
the characters in them. But in this one, Thomas Lefroy, a young man stuck in a rut, joins a group of warriors like his father before him. But what he joins is not what he expects, as twists and turns lead him to Christine Collins, a friend of his father's who wants to train him to help him defeat Wolfgang von Strucker, the man who killed his father.
So 4 characters? Is that what we got?
No, 3.
3.
Did you give a name to the father? Or is it just
No.
the main character, the person, the woman who trains him?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I gave a name to. I gave a name to the person that he's trying to defeat.
Wolfgang
Straka. Wolfgang von Strussel.
Oh, how did I forget that part?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thomas Lefroy, a young man stuck in a rut, joins a group of warriors like his father before him. But what he joins is not what he expects, as twists and turns lead him to Christine Collins, a friend of his father's who wants to train him to help him defeat Wolfgang von Strucker, the man who killed his father. But yet again, things do not seem as they appear. It was just a last. I don't know why I forgot that last sentence.
It didn't help. It didn't help me. I did not bring me any closer. What year are we looking at here?
2008.
Oh, that's way later than I thought.
Is it Balls of Fury?
It is not Balls of Fury.
I should have get the bad guesses out. It's part of my process.
Then the juices really start flowing.
Hey, it's worked sometimes.
Okay. What is the name of the female who's a friend of his father?
Christine Collins.
Christine Collins.
One of these days, I'm hoping that the characters are the ones that you get instead of the plot.
Yeah, dude, it's never the character. I never remember. It's very rare. Christine Collins, right? 2008. What is happening?
Phil Collins. No relation. So he
Now
joined.
Damon's been sued.
Yeah,
So
there we
it's
go.
out.
Just me. Oh my god. Gotta carry the torch.
Iron Man.
No.
Yeah.
Can we get a genre, please? I guess just
What do you think it is?
action.
Action thriller.
Action thriller.
Action thriller.
Action thriller. 2008.
Join man's father is dead. Joins a crew, but it's not what he thinks it is. Meets a lady, trains him. With his father. 2008. Is it? I don't know why it would be animated, but
It's
live
not
action.
animated.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live action.
Was it a summer blockbuster?
It came out around the summer.
Okay.
Of course, obviously, there was a lot of stuff in the summer.
Yeah.
So,
But like, even if it didn't do gangbuster numbers, was it supposed to be block? Did it have a blockbuster?
I mean, it had a blockbuster. It probably had a blockbuster budget. I didn't look into the budget, but,
Yeah.
but there are more people in here than I said.
Then sure.
So, those people were getting paid.
Is the father? Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, we seen this one.
Oh, is it we? You're speaking French.
Did we see?
So if you look into what the red herring is,
I don't even know of a red herring for this, to be honest with you.
It could always be Star Wars.
a young man stuck in a rut joins a group of warriors like his father before him.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Stuck in a rut like his father.
No, joins a group of warriors like his father before him.
Power Rangers.
Looper? That's not
Now he said what the red herring was, which is Star Wars. So if you think about Star Wars, not saying that it is space, but I'm saying if you think about Star Wars and the father, what?
See, every time you were like, "Oh, you guys are gonna get this."
Yep.
Is that 5? Wow.
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
not.
you're just agreeing
30
with mine.
seconds. But I'm not gonna get it. I know you're gonna be so disappointed in me, man. So disappointed. And
Fast
probably
and
both of us.
Furious.
Yeah, that's not.
It's not a Fast and Furious.
The Highlander. That was in the 80s. Rugrats.
Yep, that's about to be a wrap, man. 5 seconds. Yep. That's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it. I don't got it. I don't got it.
That's okay. What if instead I said that Professor Charles Xavier, a young man stuck in a rut, joins a group of warriors like his father before him? But what he joins
You
is not
son
what
of
he
a gun,
expects.
man. You son of a freaking gun. God dang it. It was
His
wanted.
first class.
It was wanted.
Oh, wanted.
Oh.
Oh, his dad was.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because they were like saying that his dad went rogue, and it turns out that his dad, I guess technically went rogue, but it's because
he was part of this organization.
yeah, and his dad
Gotcha.
was actually the one trying to like protect him the entire time. Was actually like a good guy, and Morgan
Yeah.
Freeman was
The bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who? What
So
was?
Thomas Lefroy, aka James McAvoy from Becoming Jane, also Wesley Gibson in the movie. Young man stuck in a rut joins a group of warriors like his father before him. But what he joins is not what he expects. His twists and turns lead him to Christine Collins. Could have been Laura Croft, but I chose not to use that name. aka Angelina Jolie from Changeling, who played the character Fox in Wanted. And Wolfgang von Strucker, aka Baron Strucker. Thomas Kretschmann from Avengers 2, who played Cross in the movie, and also the father of Wesley Gibson.
so that's why the father didn't get a name because he was the and I guess is there a reason why you didn't put Morgan Freeman anywhere in there?
because he wouldn't have fit in the. I was trying to go for the Star Wars reference.
Gotcha.
And he wouldn't have fit in it.
Gotcha. You got us. And just
Rats.
coming up with that answer too late, man. Oh, that hurts. I don't know why. Like my mind just was set on the only movies I saw that summer were like The Dark Knight and Pineapple Express. Like for some reason I could not, and Tropic Thunder. Like I couldn't think of anything else that we saw that summer.
It's because it was a little bit before those movies, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like maybe one of the first movies we saw at the top of the summer in 2008. I just
There were a lot of movies that
sucks,
summer.
dude.
That's why I was
there were a
like,
ton.
that's why when you were like, was it a blockbuster? I was like, I mean, well, it was around in the summer.
They tried.
There were so
they
many
tried.
movies that it kind of wasn't going to have the opportunity.
Well,
You guys will get the next one though for sure.
Well,
I mean,
appreciate
it's just
your-
simply because you'll get it once we get there.
Okay.
That was my little game out of the way, fellas. Looks like it's time for the.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
a half mortal, half immortal, is out to avenge his mother's death and rid the world of vampires. The modern day technologically advanced vampires he is going after are in search of his special blood type needed to summon an evil god who plays a key role in their plan to execute the human race.
Yes, sir.
Which, why?
I mean,
That's all their food. That was my thing.
Well, yeah.
I think the plan was to go for like what eventually starts to happen in Blade Trinity,
Okay. Just to turn everyone into
like just a
day
food
walkers.
source.
Oh, okay.
We almost did these movies in chronological order, which is pretty interesting.
Go us.
Yeah.
If we flipped Steel and Spawn,
yeah.
we've done these movies in chronological order. So released August 21st, 1998, with a budget of $45 million and a box office of $131.2 million. Split pretty closely between domestic and international, 70 mil to 61 mil. Finally, a movie that succeeded beyond its base budget. 59% versus 78%. Critics versus audience at Rotten Tomatoes. 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. And 3.5 out of 5 at Letterboxd. Movie entered at number 1 the week it came out. Blade went 8th in August. But it went 3rd in September. So my guess is because it came out so late in the month of August.
Mm-hmm.
So going forward, I am going to start looking, like if it's at the tail end of a month, I'll check the next month to see if it did better. 98 was a summer for movies. So top 5 in August: Saving Private Ryan, There's Something About Mary, Hollywood H2O, The Parent Trap, the Lindsay Lohan version, and Ever After round out the top 5. That next month, Rush Hour, There's Something About Mary again, Blade, Saving Private Ryan again, and Rounders for the top 5 in September. So a lot of movies. The movie did pretty well overall during its run. So what you fellas think about it?
I love Blade.
Yeah.
I sorry, that was a little bit of hesitation. I love it, man. Like I said before we even started the episode, that I think it has one of the best openings in a superhero film, hands down. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, is there a superhero film that you feel could rival the opening of Blade, or that you've seen and you were like, this was nuts? Like this is something that you would put in like your top 5 openers for a movie.
Like including Marvel and stuff? Like the
Including
MCU,
Marvel,
I mean?
Yeah.
I would say the Robert Pattinson's Batman, like that one, is
Which
the only thing.
you mean like the very opening with like the Riddler actually like taking out the mayor, or you mean like when you
when you see when you
Batman?
first see Batman, like when he comes out, like when
The shadows.
Yeah, the gangs just at the
that's pretty
train
good.
stop station thing.
Yeah.
But that's other than that, like I can't really think of anything.
What about you?
Good question. You know, as goofy as it sounds, no, I wouldn't say as goofy as it sounds. Captain America 3, I think actually Captain America 2, Winter Soldier has a great opening.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, they really, once they got past the first Avenger, Captain America really took off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so they did have some great openings there, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I remember either of those, to be honest.
With
But
the opening, I mean, they them getting onto the ship, Cap just doing his thing, and then fighting Batroc the Leaper, and then in the third one, them going to, I think it was Lagos, and stopping Bone Crusher.
Yeah.
From
Crossbones.
Crossbones. I said Bone Crusher. Wrong character.
What's that
Similar
song,
design, but wrong character.
Bone Crusher. I'm thinking about the rapper. Man.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, I think they were stopping Bone Thugs and Harmony from releasing the Crossroads virus across the world. I think one of the things that also benefited Winter Soldier is like, I think the first Avenger was to me, it was like a very mid. It was very mid. Like its first movie outing was very mid. So for them to jump into this one and or Winter Soldier, I mean, and you're seeing him move in a way that was very different than I think he was doing in First Avenger, which I think it very much almost feel like they pulled that version directly out of the comic books, and it was just like amazing to see him. Like he dives out of the plane without a parachute, just goes right into the water, gets up onto the ship, and he's just running around the perimeter, taking people out so quickly, and it was just like, this is incredible. Because you could tell that they were starting to blend this sort of thriller, espionage sort of aura that you might see in other, thriller films in like the 90s and early 2000s and then like imbuing that into Captain America, which is amazing. But here with Blade, I think the buildup is just incredible. The buildup is absolutely incredible. Like you're not even like with this guy who is totally oblivious to what is happening. And I think all of the small cues that are being picked up on, especially when you see them rolling like the bodies on the hanger, and he's just like, whoa, what was that? And she doesn't answer. I do think it's hilarious because for me personally, that is the moment you're a nice lady, I'm going home. But I don't...
It's good color.
I mean, truthfully, because the instant that she said, it was like, where are you taking me? And she's like, yo, you'll see. And then it was a butcher, meat factory. I'd been like, I'm good. I'll just walk. I'll find my way back.
What else could be here,
And not only that, but bodies, like cadavers being rolled out in bags. And you're still like, well, gotta get my dick wet. Like, no, dude, there's no amount. That the date's over. It's done. Yeah. But then as soon as he approaches, as they get closer to the door and they're talking to the guard, and you hear the music starts to ramp up, and then they walk in and that music just hits. Yeah.
Was he supposed to be special though? The reason I asked that is because like we saw the bodies, like the bodies are rolling out. He's looking at the bodies, but he gets in there and it's just like a club scene. But for some reason, when he gets in there and starts to find out stuff, all of a sudden the bloodbath happens. Yeah, and they start like messing with him. Like, why weren't they? Did they do that and then clean up real quick and then be like, new person come in, new person come in?
as if the bodies they were carrying out were like previous victims from raves they just.
All right, we got 10 minutes to reset the blood sprinklers.
Everybody get your new clothes on.
Just this vampire mopping.
Oh my god.
But yeah, dude, that scene, it is absolutely incredible. And I do this thing in my mind, and I know these things are very fantastical things that are experiences that we'll never have to go through, right? Like we'll never be in a club, in a butcher shop, dealing with vampires. But just what must be going through your mind as the revelation and you start to have this epiphany of what's actually happening between the blood coming down from the sprinklers and you're looking around at everybody, and then everyone has these crazy canines, they're hissing at you, they're far stronger than you, push you down to the ground, they're kicking the shit out of you, and as you're crawling across the floor, you come across those boots, and everything stops. And it's also the fear of every vampire in that area of, oh my gosh. And that's another question I wanted to ask you guys, because I think that's one of the things that's so amazing about this movie is because it starts off, he's already who he is.
Yeah.
There is no, let me take 45 to 50 minutes, go through the whole, and I think really, and I forgot that they do this, that they show a few shots of his mother, like the very beginning of the film, like losing the baby and whatnot, and it's like very tragic, but it's so quick, but they don't spend any time on it, and I kind of love that simplicity, that they don't feel this need to linger, but somehow it works. And so I was curious, like in you guys's, like in your opinions, what do you think makes, especially a superhero film where they don't dive into the origin to that degree, what do you think makes it great? What do you think allows it to actually work without feeding the audience these spoonfuls?
Well, I think I don't know if it's the children are being left behind or what, but I think there's like people are smarter than like I think generally is like kind of assumed in like new age thing where it's like, oh, no one knows what Batman is. Like we gotta tell this story every time. Where it's like you're kind of going into a movie like the whole suspend belief thing. Like you're ready to receive the movie. So like I don't think you really you could just be like, oh, this is why he's here, and you're like, okay, cool, and then we're going from here.
Yeah.
So I don't think you really need to do all that setup. If also like I think the movie does enough, like it tells another story of like, you know, what he's doing already.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to have that setup because that's not the story they're trying to tell. They're trying to be like, oh, this is because your point of like he's already doing the thing. So like here's him doing the thing, and then we come to the ending.
Yeah.
But that's just my thought. So
I'll apologize ahead of time because this is going to probably be a deep dive.
Ooh.
It's going to probably be me rambling a little bit. So when it comes to Blade in particular, the reason that I think it works as well as it does is because we got to look at the time. It's 1998. We haven't gotten the MCU formula yet, right? But we've had these Batman movies. We've had Superman movies in the 80s and the 70s. And then we have the movies that we just went over. And that's pretty much your superhero fix going up into this movie, right? One thing I will say before I go into it further is that this is a new origin for Blade. Blade originally, back in 1973 when he was created, was just a human who happened to be immune to vampire bites and vampire hypnosis.
Oh.
And he was that way pretty much all the way up until 1994. In 1994, there's a comic where he is bitten by Morbius. And Morbius is able to transfer...
I know you want to say it.
it's morbid.
It's Morbid time. But he's bitten by Morbius, and Morbius is able to give him powers. No, I do not know why a person that has been historically known to be immune to vampire bites can suddenly be affected by this one. Yeah, maybe it's because he's a living vampire, Morbius. Who knows? But so he gets vampire powers, but he's not a vampire.
Oh.
But then in 1996, Blade shows up in Spider-Man the Animated Series. And it's in Spider-Man the Animated Series where we're first given an origin that he is what is known as a Dhampir, which is a vampire-human hybrid, because his father in that cartoon is a vampire who impregnated his mother. And then we get 1988's Blade, where he is the product of a mother who was pregnant with him and then bitten by a vampire. So in both of those, he's a Dhampir. But this is a new origin. So I am actually surprised that they didn't go further into it, because if you've been a Blade fan, maybe they didn't think they were Blade fans. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know that this was.
Yeah.
It took way like years later for me to understand that it was a Marvel. I guess I shouldn't say it like that.
No, you're right.
I didn't
because
have them
they
on the forefront of my mind.
intentionally separated themselves from being a Marvel property. There are very little things that tell you that Blade is a Marvel character in this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't. There is no other mention of anything Marvel related within this entire movie. So that brings me back to 1998. What is the key type of movie that this could be? Which is an action movie. And in action movies, we don't need origins.
Yeah,
because it's just.
It's about the action.
Here's a dude. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's Sylvester Stallone. Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
We don't need to know what they were like as a kid or what they were like
right.
growing up. And even though they don't have powers, like the simplest thing of just saying, I mean, we got the origin within 5 seconds. He was born from a woman who got bit by a vampire.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's all the origin you need.
Yeah.
Now, as for other movies and why it works when we aren't giving it, is because, like you said, it's much better to give information piecemeal throughout a person's journey to say, this is why they are who they are. And, but I think that comic book movies nowadays feel like they need to follow a comic book-esque formula, which is that old Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, give us the origin and issue 1 and then go forward from there. But an audience member doesn't need to know that like Captain America was given a super serum. We don't need you don't need 40 minutes of being shown that Captain America can jump in and then you're like, well, he's heroic because he's Captain America. Right. I don't need to know what made him Captain America. He's heroic because he's Captain America. Batman is the way he is because he's Batman. No one else is going to be like that. Like, you could probably give 10 billionaires kids dead parents and probably none of them would turn into Batman. Yeah. Batman is who he is because he's Bruce Wayne as opposed to the events that created him. So in reality, you could just drop a character in the way we do here. Like, we don't see Blade until the boots. And you don't need to see him before that. You don't need 30 minutes of saying and then when Whistler later says what happens, that's 2 minutes tops of him just saying yep, I found him, figured out what he was.
Almost killed him. And decided not to.
I don't need to see a flashback of that. That made perfect sense. Karen didn't need it. Why would I need it?
Right.
Yeah. No, that's all. Yeah, man. I follow you. I follow you because it's incredible because it's also giving you this experience from the vampire's perspective. Yeah. Because you're feeling their fear almost to a degree, right? Like you see this guy because you're already feeling the fear of the guy who's seemingly is just supposed to be fodder and just I'm assuming going to get torn apart in this had he not come when he did, and how everyone backs away. You're like, oh, and then I think it's not only how they react, just immediately respond to his presence, but it's the fact that the filmmakers were able to further emphasize through the action of that sequence, this dude will fuck you up because that fight that ensues is just insane. To be able to see all of these other vampires who probably, when you think about it, and smarter vampires who are like, I'm just not gonna fuck with this, I'm leaving. Besides the other ones who are like, well, let me take my chances. Maybe not. And I think the camera work in that scene is also incredible because there's this one scene, and I don't know why I never noticed this before, but there's this part where the camera kind of pulls back a little bit and you see Blade and he's kind of center frame, but there's a lot of space around him for people to kind of run outside of the crowd and run towards him to fight. And right after he does this thing where he pulls a stake from his jacket and he does it super quick, but then he jabs it up into this vampire's neck and pushes him into the ceiling. And then the camera does this cool thing where it starts to wrap around that guy, but then it's almost like the camera is the vampire. it is the next person that Blade turns his attention to, because he looks directly at the camera, and he follows it, and then he punches, and then the punch hits the camera, and then the guy kind of falls back. And you're like, whoa! And it was all of this complex stuff that's like happening in this scene, and it's just chaos, but it's beautiful chaos at the same time.
Because you see kind of like he is this rock that's in this just like stream of everything happening.
Yeah,
that's
flowing
cool.
around him. And then like it's almost kind of like when you're playing a video game where they're throwing you these smaller level, just like, these are just people that, just so you can get used to the controls. And then even within that scene, it starts to upgrade in like how, I guess, tactical or capable the people that he's fighting become. So yeah, I just thought that piece was super amazing. Also, I know this is just a random aside, but the fact that Donnell Log, I think I'm mispronouncing the name. He's the guy who plays Quinn. So the guy who keeps getting his hand cut off by Blade, who keeps just getting kind of beat up by Blade. What an interesting career. Because he was in that show Grounded for Life. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was on Fox for a little bit.
He was, yeah.
And it was a comedy. And it's just so weird to like, that was the first thing I'd ever seen him in. And then the next thing I know, he shows up in a Fox sitcom on Sunday night. Like, okay.
Yeah, that is a turn.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like kind of trying to be the comedic relief, but like just being really bad at it. But
he did have one moment in the film where, like, in the third act, that I love it, and it's a part that me and my brother love so much. It's when he's basically kind of gloating on Blade's behalf. He got the sword, he throws it up, and Deacon Frost kind of like joins in with him. He's like, yeah, and he throws it up, and he catches it behind his back. Shut the fuck up!
I don't think you understand. I mean, this dude is fucking bad. Like, he's like, you have 20 guys around him. I was there, man. He's got shit he throws at you. Then you like the sword.
Yeah, you got the sword.
Exactly.
Shit, yeah, you throw it in the air, catch it underneath.
Exactly.
Yeah, shut the fuck up!
I love that part.
it is a cool sword. It's a very cool
dude,
sword.
Such a cool sword. But speaking to like the simplicity of it, and I think that as the film progresses, there are some areas where like maybe it was like too simplistic. But what I mean is in the way that it was written, and the dialogue that was given to characters. Because to your point earlier about even when Whistler speaks to Blade's origin, it's 2 minutes and then it's done. Like, you don't need to harp on it. You don't need to linger there. And we're cool as the audience. But it was something that Whistler asked him in the first act, where after he had brought back Karen, after she was bitten, he asked Blade, like, why did you bring her back? You should have killed her. He said, yeah, I know, but I didn't. That's it. There was no, like, I didn't because she reminded me of my mom, or I didn't because of XYZ. You kind of get enough in just how he delivers that line for you to kind of settle on, okay, maybe he was feeling some type of way. Maybe there's more emotion there. Maybe he's not the
stoic,
sort of Ice King, that you think he is, and he decides to save this person's life, which ends up being a huge help in all of the things that she does, and I'm sure we'll get to. But yeah, I just think that kind of stuff is really cool. It makes you kind of wonder, like, why do writers, why do filmmakers feel this need to overcomplicate things when there's so many examples of just being simple, doing wonders for the audience?
Yeah.
Because there are loud people in the audience that says, I didn't get it. Why'd he do that?
Yeah.
Why'd he do that?
You sound like my grandma.
Well, that's
God rest her soul. But
Was she doing that in the movie theaters?
I would love it if my grandma went with us to see Blade.
Why'd that Blade man do that? Why'd he save her?
He's so mean.
But he's kind of handsome.
But it is an amazing coincidence that he chooses to save her. Now, we know, because he has that, like, momentary flashback of his mother.
Yeah.
Which,
I don't know how he would
how
know.
does he have that flashback?
You should.
Like,
You should.
Like, he know, like, how do you know your own origin at birth that no one else has given you?
Yeah. The vampire blood, dude. He came out the womb.
He knew his own lore.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. Like, he even has of her, like, reaching out to him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll remember this.
Yeah.
And then he just goes about his
Traumatic memory.
But, like, the coincidence of saving this person who's a hematologist, who also is apparently incredibly brilliant and can
Women in STEM,
like, just immediately figure out the gene splicing
Yeah.
needed
Yeah.
to end vampires. And you're like, yep, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure Whistler was like, well, damn, I'm glad you didn't kill her. I just told you to do it. I didn't do it.
Also, Whistler, man, what a great character. It seems like he did, Christopherson did such a great job that even though they had like offed him in the first movie, they were like, hey man, people love him, we got to find a way to bring him back. And it's like one of the first things that Blade 2 does. It starts off pretty much with Blade retrieving him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he came back. I thought he had like a Captain Barbosa moment in Blade Trinity.
Captain Barbosa?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Pirates.
Weird.
From Pirates of what? Pirates of what?
Caribbean.
Oh, which one? It was like
The
10
At World's
third
End.
one? Yeah.
Road's End?
At World's
World's
End.
At World's End.
Yeah, they could. Spoilers for Pirates of the Caribbean. So he dies in the first one because they fix the curse and then
I mean, I
that's
guess
it.
technically he was already
That's true. He
dead,
was already dead.
but-
because that. So then I don't know. Yeah,
they solved. I mean, the curse gets fixed, which permanently kills him.
because he was shot with. He had a bullet wound, and then he becomes mortal again, and then he's like, "Oh shit." Direct line, by the way. I'm just kidding. PG-12, whatever.
They get one shit, right? we talked about that.
Yeah, that's true. They were goddamn. And then in the third one, the witchy woman who we find out is a goddess of the ocean brings him back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because she's like, oh, he was just dead, where she can't bring Jack back because he was swallowed by the Kraken, so he's in Davy Jones' locker or something. Can't remember what liminal space he's put in.
So like they like had to go down into to Davy Jones' locker to like get him back out.
Right. And the moment I'm referring to is like, she's like, oh, I forget the line, but he's like, oh, we'll have some help. And then you see his boots. You hear like the thump of the wood. And then you see him walk out. And he's like, got his apple. And he says some cool line. So it's like
I only remember this movie
apple a day.
because
yeah.
it was the only movie I saw while I was in Japan.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
this is the Japan. Oh, nice, nice.
It's the only
That's
movie I
awesome.
remember.
That's wild.
Like this movie.
But yeah, so I just remember and like because I was looking up Blade 3 because the one scene that I remember is like when I think they're going to have that like siege on the lab or whatever, and then it's everyone's suiting up, and I thought like he like has a walkout moment, and I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
he's
Whistler
back.
is in Blade Trinity.
Right, yeah. So I saw him on the cast list. So I was like, oh, maybe this is when he comes back, like because he comes back as a vampire, right? That's the whole thing,
He
or
does come back. In the second one, I know they torture him in the first one, right? Like they torture him in this movie in Blade.
yeah, and then he
He dies and he
maybe kills himself with a gun.
Yeah, but then like I don't know if the vampires
it's
come back to their
off-screen.
headquarters to retrieve his body, but basically
Oh.
Blade goes to get his body, and then he has to like make him go cold turkey. I think in the second movie, so they just basically sequester him for days, and he has to just go almost kind of just like a meth addict, I guess, where he just no blood, no nothing
okay.
for a few days, and it's very strange because it almost kind of makes it seem like going cold turkey for that long just cured him of vampirism, and where along the lines of in Blade 2, there is no other mention afterwards, like that after the first act, that he has any remnants of being a vampire. But it was suggesting in the beginning of that movie that he was turned.
I do feel like in the third one they do something to like either cure him or
He goes like full blown. He almost kind of goes like rogue or becomes a traitor briefly before he's killed. He was used in a very weird way.
Yeah.
I remember in Blade Trinity from what I do recall of what I saw. But it is something else that I did want to touch upon in this movie of like how pressing, like was it truly pressing that Karen was even turning into a vampire? I kind of feel like they talked about it, but it wasn't like she ever herself was shown to be succumbing to the hunger or things like that.
I think when he puts the aluminium,
The garlic,
the
whatever.
garlic thing in her, whatever you call it, the scientific term
serum,
for garlic. But they like puts that serum in her. And I think he says it's a 50-50 on whether or not she will turn.
Oh, I thought it was 50-50 as to whether or not she'll live through the night.
I think it was
maybe like the kind of what he was not hinting at, but like that's what he was kind of talking about. Is because like if she like lives through because I feel like you die, right? to be undead.
Yeah, so she was either
Yeah,
going to
but-
die or like. So I think like it was either death or like a 50-50 of her turning or not.
Okay, because it kind of confused me honestly, because a little bit later in the film, somewhere in the second act, there's a conversation that Karen and Whistler have where it almost kind of makes it seem like I forget the exact word or verbiage, but they made it seem like she's past this deadline, or that she's nearing this deadline. I'm like, okay, so, and this is seemingly a couple of days after he made the comment about, hey, it's a 50-50 chance. And so I thought that's why I thought that it was like 50-50 chance that she lives. And so they were past that. So when it's brought up again, I'm like, okay, is she still in threat of turning into a vampire? Is it happening slower? Because
So
they
it could be
injected her?
like, it's a 50-50. When he said 50-50, it could be of that she lives or dies. And then if she lives, then there's the
Then the
chance
further,
that she
She's got
turns.
turns to
5
vampire.
days or whatever.
Okay.
Because I'm also confused now, bringing it up. So
It made so much sense till you question it now.
yeah,
Like,
right. I was like,
like,
oh,
it
maybe they
made
should
so
have
much sense when he
explained
first told me that. I was like, okay.
It's actually around that time that she says the line that like put the Russet Root song in my head.
So that's it? You guys just patch me up and send me on my way.
Because she's like, because they're basically kind of making it seem as though, hey, we've done our part, we saved you, you need to get out of here by like sundown or whatever. And she was like, what, so I'm supposed to pack my bags and you just send me on my way? And then as soon as she said that, I was like,
there you
on
go.
my way, on my way. And then I'm just imagining her and Blade kind of just like going through the city killing vampires. I would like to reach out and kill so many vampires. Turn you around. Bubbly say, bubbly You know?
Did you add lyrics to that?
No, that.
Oh.
No, is that. Well, the vampire.
Well, the
part.
vampire-
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that
they
was-
didn't talk about vampires.
No. I was like, how fitting that the song has vampires.
I see why it triggered in your brain. They're talking
Well,
about
I'm
vampires.
giving you a little background story, guys, which you didn't know, that Russet Root was actually commissioned to make a theme song for Blade. And this was it.
And then they used it in Matilda and Ice
Yeah.
Age.
I would like...
Speaking of music, this movie is actually pretty disciplined in its music usage. It gives you that very big like techno beginning part, and then it chooses to be pretty subdued throughout the entire movie up until the very end.
Man.
And then it's like, okay, we deserve this, guys.
We
And it just
waited
goes,
long
like,
enough.
super
Now
mild.
we
Full
get
force
dessert.
into it. Because there are so many fight scenes where like
Yeah.
my mind thought every single fight scene had techno track like backing it, and then I'm like, no, there's no. It's just very subdued. And then like it hit, and then he like gets in, he's like, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is.
Okay. Nice.
They were holding on to it.
They were waiting, man. There was that one scene, speaking of music, and this is one of my favorite scenes purely because of like how tiny their voices sound. But when they go to that club at night and it's Blade and Karen, and there's these two, I don't know if like what nationality they are. I don't know if it's Korean or something.
Oh,
like
like
that.
the Asian bar?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And then, like the two girls are on the
rapper.
stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but this is so cool because their voices, they sound like little squirrels.
Yeah.
It's Japanese.
Oh, Japanese. Okay.
Only because the dude in the bouncer dude who didn't look Japanese, he spoke Japanese in a very like American way.
Oh.
And I was like, what? Because they were coming up, and he was like choto mate kudasai, and I was like, what?
Is that please wait?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad we got you
I
here,
would-
Dave.
yeah, right.
And I was like, why do you say it? Like,
Yeah.
Because he really didn't look Japanese. He like sort of looked like he could be like half Asian. I was like,
Right.
okay. And then they went in, and then you saw everybody was Asian. I was like, oh, okay. And then they started singing in Japanese. I was like, oh, this is supposed to be
There
like a
we go.
little. Because I mean, they never tell you what the city is, right?
I don't
That
think
this
so.
place is.
Yeah. Dude, I
Zooming around.
yeah. I always just kind of defaulted to New York. I just assumed that it was
Oh.
New York.
I went
But-
Chicago.
Oh, interesting. But they did say that they travel, right? They
Yeah.
don't
Which
kind
is
of
weird because
stay
they
in
had
one
this
place.
like seemingly
Set up.
well-maintained
right?
base.
Yeah, that's
Right?
right.
But we usually they travel. I was like, you travel
With what?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they had a fucking gas pump. That's wild. Another thing I wanted to touch on, or I guess a thing, Was that council? They were like the head vampires, right?
I mean, you would think so.
Yeah.
Okay, because they just like got bullied so easily, and I was like, just walk away. Like, what are they gonna do to you?
The only thing I can imagine is that the issue is that when maybe there aren't maybe there are levels to like vampires, but like maybe once you become a vampire, you just get a base set of super strength.
Okay,
but then like you can train. Like, maybe a more muscular vampire is stronger than an old man vampire.
Yeah.
And therefore, like, they just all even each other out. And it was like, now they don't really technically have powers. It's just what would happen if, like, a younger, like, more stronger person, like, a stronger person was just, like,
kind of bullying
like,
you
F you, old man.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
I mean, that makes sense. Because, it was just like, they left him out to die. And I was just like, run away. Like, get back in the car. Like, I don't to do something. But he was just like, this is my time to die.
Yeah.
It wasn't
where
French,
they have him out in the sun.
Yeah.
And he, okay.
Yeah. Because that guy, Frost, just pushes him around. And then it's at the end when, like, they're bringing him into the ring where it's like, you're clearly going to die. Like, this isn't a great place to be.
Yeah.
Run away. Just don't be.
They were being held, though.
I mean,
yeah.
But I guess there were some people who had guns and whatnot.
But I guess, like...
But I mean, Deacon Frost was shown to be, and I guess that's so. Yeah, when you bring up, can you train to be stronger? Because Deacon Frost was shown to be able to pretty easily dodge bullets. So like even if they shot at you,
because there's also
wasn't that after he became like the super vampire?
No, that was when he shot at when he had the kid. When they meet out in like Chinatown, and Deacon Frost blade shoots, he dodges the bullets and then throws the kid across the street. Yeah, that was before he became like the vampire god. So they were already fast enough to be able to dodge bullets. So why wouldn't the vampire elders be able to do something like that?
Right.
So maybe like as vampires can shoot quicker.
Oh, it's like a wanted thing.
The bullets come out faster.
They can curve their
Like
bullets.
maybe they can predict movement.
Yeah.
So they're about to shoot.
Oh, so they can read it better.
Yeah. And
but
like,
you think Blade
or maybe like the gun shoots, but like that explosion happens, but the bullet hasn't come out yet.
Oh.
And so like the old, like maybe if you dodged on the instinct of seeing that, then you could like turn the gun still as that's happening, and then it just comes out and shoots.
A lot of generous reading going
on.
Yeah,
very generous.
I mean, my belief is just that they were old.
Okay.
And they were just like, well, you know what? Like, we can't really fight you young folks.
Okay. Because there was that whole, like, oh, we are pure blood.
Yeah,
you are born.
Yeah.
You are turned. You
You are
turned. We are better than you.
I was born in the vampire. I never saw a sunrise.
Yeah, so it's like, what the hell?
They did have that very aristocratic sort of, oh, I'm better than you because I was born. It was like, but what advantage does that give you? Ultimately,
apparently nothing.
If you're the same, or they're maybe slightly better, why is that anything to brag about?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you like beat that into the minds of people as they're like, coming up,
I guess, yeah.
It's just a race allegory, I guess, at the end of the day.
Like they're the aristocracy and you're the plebeians.
There you
like,
go. Yeah,
you do it. And like,
that's true.
But considering that he was at the table, Deacon must have like.
But then was he? Because
himself.
they brought like in the first one or like in the first scene where the council was meeting, they like had to bring him in. Like he was
like waiting like at the doctor's office.
Right.
Yeah.
But he had like a seat there. Like it wasn't like somebody got up and
That's
then
true.
like switched seats with him.
Yeah.
So my assumption was just that they were having a sidebar.
Yeah, he
about
was
him,
on,
and then they're like, "All right, you can come back in."
Gotcha.
I just assumed that open seat was they just always have an open seat so they could chastise whoever the person of the week that popped up
sure
was.
Bring him to the chastise seat, please.
Put them on the hot seat.
It's Ernest here. Somebody go get Ernest. Let's drink too much blood. He's drinking more than he was allotted.
Yeah, I was just really curious of just like, oh, all these like seemingly old, powerful vampires are just getting bullied by nobody.
New age, 90s,
so.
Gen X vampire.
Because I thought the same thing when like especially when Deacon was like being really physical with him. I was like, "You're a vampire. You can just fight." But then I was like, "Well, they're both vampires."
Yeah.
So maybe it would be the equivalent of you like fighting a 70-year-old man. Like, well, if he can't fight,
then he can't fight. Yeah.
It does make me wonder though. Something that I'm curious about as I was rewatching it is, what did Deacon do to be able to rise to the ranks to where he could even afford that sort of because maybe that was his seat at the table, maybe it wasn't, but the level of familiarity that they had with him made it seem like he'd somehow risen.
Because I... Oh, go ahead.
It could be. I mean, there's so much. This is one of those times like you have to read a lot into it because they did give us information. But it could be that he had some type of like importance before turning into a vampire, and therefore like he was able, like, because he still has that like importance in like the human world, he's allowed to.
He's got the money and all that, the prestige. Because I just thought he was like a protege of that Italian guy or whatever nationality he was.
I think his name was.
Okay, yeah. That just like kept checking on him. So I was like, oh, maybe this is the guy that turned him or something. So then he's been his subordinate for a while, and now he's been, undercutting him enough that he has all his resources. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I think that is actually kind of a cool, like it will be kind of a cool layer to their relationship. When you think about it, like the protege that then turns around, it kind of gives me a little bit like Obi-Wan and Anakin vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
Except he treated him like an outsider.
Oh, okay.
Which would be weird because if they were...
Maybe it was like his sire or whatever.
Yeah. You would think they would have a bit more of a familial relationship.
That's fair.
Or at least a familiar relationship, I should say. But like, if it felt like when they were talking about Deacon, like the way he was just like, you're like you returned. You're not a full blood like us. Like it made it seem like he was like this outsider who came in from someplace else.
Yeah,
like they were all chilling in Transylvania, and he was like an American vampire who just kind of came in. And like, hey man, you're not us.
But when that line was uttered, it made me. I got this sense it was more of like a father chastising his son because he was just kind of like on his last nerve. Like, hey, how many times have I told you not to hold parties when I go out on vacation? Almost like dazed and confused, you know what I'm saying? Like he pulls up with all these kegs and the father's we're not going on vacation anymore because I can't trust my son to not trash the place. And as if Deacon had multiple times maybe set up these parties where maybe Blade had crashed and killed a bunch of people, that he was just frustrated. But it could be the other way as well. But it is one of those things, like you said, you have to read into it because they don't give too much information about it. But even still, it would be kind of a cool layer if they did have that kind of relationship, and then it just turned into this, like, I'm tired of waiting. Because Deacon did have a very kind of, like, I like the way that Stephen Dorff portrayed him, but he had this kind of bratty, I am better, impatient sort of.
My time is
like
now.
Teenage angst about him a little bit. Yeah.
Which made it feel like he was a new vampire. But then you realize like he's much older than like is being given, considering what is like he's the origin of Blade. Which I don't like, but it made it feel like he was like especially considering like the way that they were talking to him in the initial, it almost felt like he had just been turned. Yeah. But then you're like, well, maybe to them he had just been turned. That's because of like how time
stretches
for them.
Yeah.
But it just felt weird because it did feel like he was just like young, bratty teen, as opposed to someone who's possibly hundreds of years old. Also, this movie, it's so weird how, because I had to look into it to see. This movie wrapped up. This movie premiered the month that Matrix wrapped up all production, meaning that essentially it couldn't be.
Like influenced by the Matrix.
That the Matrix can be influenced by Blade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the dodging bullets? Or
but
what do you mean?
There's so much, like this movie like seemingly like gave a bunch of just like inspiration to like a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because like when I looked at Deacon, especially like the way he was presenting himself, obviously the way 90s hair was, but also like when he was like putting on the sunscreen and stuff like that, I was like, Twilight. And how like the vampires
they're like kind of glossy, glistening. Like their skin had a very specific kind of like hue to it. Yeah.
And then you look at stuff like the Underworld series, and then like the Matrix, obviously. And you're like, but that's why I was like, did it influence it? But it's like they can't because they had already done everything before the movie came out.
But I guess it would kind of depend on when. How do I put this? Like. Well, for one, I know there's this thing that like a buddy of mine and my neighbor will talk about sometimes called like the collective conscious of like the world of like where it seems like as one person is getting to this place of having this idea, like inevitably somewhere else across the world,
parallel thinking,
that there's happening at the same time. But also, I don't know when production started for The Matrix, but I guess if you think about it, like, how far in advance does a trailer come out for a movie? Like, could there have been... what do you think it was? What, like 2 months before, and then they're like,
probably
Blade.
like 2 to 3 months.
I feel like Blade trailer came out. I'm not saying that it was early enough for like the Wachowskis to then see a trailer for Blade and be like, oh, we should probably incorporate some of that, because I would imagine there would have to be a lot of planning and figuring that out, because there were scenes, like to your point, when he jumps across, when he tosses her across the rooftop, and then he jumps from one window to the other rooftop. I'm like, Matrix. When Deacon Frost dodges the bullets, I'm like, Matrix. All of the leather, I'm like, Matrix. You know,
yeah, it's almost it's like it feels so much like the Wachowskis were like looking at Goyer's work and just like, yeah. But like it probably is convergent thinking, the way that like two people came up with like refrigeration, or like multiple people came up with like electricity at the same time. It's interesting, because I tried to look into it, but I couldn't really find anything that said maybe there's an origin point for both movies, because
like they're based off one idea, and so this is,
and then they just like both maybe saw the same thing and then like converged off. One made Blade, one made The Matrix. It's just like, I think in a lot of ways we think of that Blade Matrix like style as being like the late 90s action style. So I just wonder what came before it that made them go, this is how we're going to be going forward.
That's a great question, man. Because we can have these conversations, and I feel like we have these conversations a lot when we're talking about movies, because like our catalog of films that we are familiar with, that we can draw inspiration from, obviously is going to be vastly different given the time that we were born than somebody who was born 20 years before us. Like Martin Scorsese's catalog of films that he's inspired by is going to be vastly different than maybe our catalog of films, because we just grew up in totally different eras. So what would it have been that would have acted as like the catalyst for the Wachowskis or for Norrington when it comes to Blade to push this?
Like, I just wonder.
Like,
because it's not like black leather trench coats and like bullet time were like a thing before these two movies popped up. So I just wonder, like, what made, like, maybe they did work together in like a writing room at some point, and then like, just kind of came up with the concept separately. Hard to tell. I just was thinking about, because we were talking about Deacon Cross, and I thought about like when he had the sunscreen on and how he had that like lighter complexion up top than he did like everywhere else, and I was like, he feels like he's in Twilight right now. Like he should be sparkling the way he looked. Plus, like when they especially in that scene where it's him and his people, and then they like take the old dude out to like kill him, and like everything is overcast and it's dark, but like they're showing up as these like bright white, like but in all black. I was like, I've never seen the Twilight movies, but like it reminded me of like that one scene I've seen, which was like the baseball one. How like it's overcast and they're all outside. I was like, oh, this feels very Twilighty.
There is another bit of inspiration that came almost like 10 years later. I'm assuming it was, at least, when Sam Raimi used the Spider-Man versus Sandman. So the scene in Spider-Man 3 where he grabs Sandman's head, they're fighting in the subway, and then he just like pushes his head against the train, and then like you see Sandman's head is just kind of wearing away. And then, because I remember seeing that scene when we saw Spider-Man 3 in theaters, and I was like, didn't they do that in Blade? Where he takes Quinn's head. Like, and it was kind of a cool tag team, and I guess I never really realized like how much a part Karen was playing in that altercation between him and Quinn, where she's like climbing back up and then she stabs him, and in that moment he takes that chance to like grab his head and slam it against the train. He's just getting wrecked, dude, and then he cuts off his hand again. But I'm like, okay, another little level of maybe inspiration there. But obviously I think that like Blade did so many cool things, and that's one of the reasons why I think as a kid I just really was attracted to that film, because up until that point I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that before at all, man, at all.
And it's such a cool take on vampires too. So
I don't think I've ever seen vampires just like kind of like evaporate like that, like once they're dead, which is kind of cool. But man, I feel like we've talked a lot about the film, but haven't even gotten to like the third act yet and how everything wraps up and ends. But
which I mean, it does with a bang, really. Like, I mean, it's interesting because you can tell that the movie ramps itself up pretty well into getting to like that point where like every like it feels like things are going to be working out for him, and then like Deacon like kind of yanks all that away from him, and then now I will say I think there are parts of the third act that are a little like maybe didn't need to be around. Like, I love Sanaa Lathan, woman's gorgeous. I don't think his mother needed to pop back up.
that's true. I agree with that.
It was
On both
very
points.
strange. Because then there was like that weird like moment where he's like on that rock,
Oh,
and I was like,
dude.
"Ooh."
That little incestuous kind of
Yeah, and I was like,
no,
do we
I don't
need to
like
do that?
that.
That didn't need to happen.
No.
And then the whole like essentially close to being an "I am your father" reveal, and it's like also didn't need to happen. In the same way that you gave us very little about his origin, that was all you really needed to give us.
Right.
Deacon could have been his own character doing his own separate thing, and it just been two forces that collided rather than a force creating its like eventual downfall.
But when you bring up the Batman movies, I mean, hell, that's Batman 1989, right? Like essentially, yeah.
Which
Joker
also didn't need to happen.
Didn't need to happen, but it did.
Like Joker's such a powerful force that he doesn't need Batman to create him. They should just be two like essentially kind of like I'm gonna probably mess this up. I want to say it's Odysseus and Achilles. Like, they aren't related in any way, but like they're two forces that eventually like come together and clash. Like, I'm not sure if it's Odysseus, but I know.
I
like,
think so. I mean,
I think
I'm
it's
sure at
Odysseus
some
and
point
Achilles, but I'm just saying like
for like the Troy. Anyway,
remember what it
the
is.
Troy Warrior.
Because I'm reading right now. I am
Troy
reading
War.
Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and really good book, by the way. And I'm like at the point where they're revving up to go into Troy, and I know Odysseus and I think his name is like Diomedes or something like that, like, who have come to get Achilles to get him to fight in this war. But it made it they had another name that of which like the gods had predicted this is going to be the person who kills Achilles. Now I haven't gotten to the point in the book where that happens. Like, oh, we all know kind of how that story ends, but his name was Hector.
Yeah,
I don't know if that is
okay. Hector. Okay, that's the person. That's like I'm saying. Like,
okay,
it's two people who aren't truly related, but like fate is going to bring them together.
Okay,
like,
Hector Paris. I can't remember.
Like, I just feel like that's how this could have been with Deacon and Blade, because like essentially you have Deacon, this character who's been rising through the ranks and is now trying to essentially ascend, versus this person who does not want any vampire, even really himself, to ascend, and is trying to stop it completely, and it's just two like shooting stars headed toward each other to like blow up. It didn't need to be that one of the shooting stars chipped off a asteroid that created a new shooting star to like take himself out. But other than that, like, it ramps up incredibly well. Karen doesn't. One of the things that's great about Karen is that she's never a full damsel in distress. She's pretty much always being active, doing something. The cool scene once he gets down into the hallway and he's fighting those two chicks. And that's where I thought the music was going to start. I was like, oh yeah, the music's here, right? And then I was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, they've been really patient with their use of his music because I know it comes back. And then they get down there, and then he gets himself like back out after getting like finally biting, and he bit her for a long time.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, she said a set, dog. You taking the whole gulp.
Yeah. Suck her like a Capri Sun, dude.
I was like Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. He's like, can I take a drink?
And the fact that he does all that and then she gets back up and continues doing stuff.
Yeah. She would be so lightheaded.
Yeah,
you
dude.
would not be...
barely stand, man.
Like, man, they took way more than they would if he was donating some blood and you just got back up and started fighting some more.
She ate a lot of spinach in between.
She must have been. She must have
Popeye.
been ready for it.
Well,
but it's like he turned Super Saiyan after he finally was like, oh, now I've gotten the blood. Now he's as powerful as
as a blood
vampire god. Yeah. But I guess he is super special. So.
Yeah, the super special boy.
It's the Daywalker.
Any other thoughts? Any lingering questions?
Plenty of thoughts, man. But
That's fair.
I could
I mean,
talk about this
ultimately,
for hours.
I really love Blade. I
Yeah.
think that this easily one of my favorite superhero films of all time. Honestly, like it's just so cool. Everything they do, especially for '98. That's the
Yeah.
other thing that kills it. Like 1998. This is Blade. Almost 30 years we're talking about.
Because there's a decent amount of like actual practical effects, I think.
Yeah, I think a decent amount, like a decent combination between the two of like special effects, and especially when we were talking, because just last week, I mean, it's Spawn, right? And you flash forward just 1 year, and
That's better. It was definitely better CGI. Usage.
better color usage as well, right?
Yes,
a lot of yellows and
wasn't
browns there you're talking about.
bleeding through my eyes. Yeah.
I do have one thing to say.
Yeah.
And it is the iconic line of the movie.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
And I question, like the line is great. I don't understand its placement in it, which is obviously some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yep.
Now I understand what the line means. Why say it when he said it is what I'm trying to like. It's like they created that line and they were like, "This is a fucking masterpiece of a line. We gotta use it," but they just couldn't figure out when to use it, and then they were just like, "He'll do it right before he's about to kill this dude." He could just get to say, "Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill."
Ice him.
Second movie, I don't know if Spawn had. I was gonna say second movie, I forgot. So like, still would be a couple weeks before, but definitely way better than the. I'll be dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs. Okay.
Or bet you wouldn't, or I forget.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Bet you would. Sounds like Matthew McConaughey. I bet you would.
Be a lot cooler if you didn't.
But yeah. You guys ready for that award ceremony?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. That's not the sound my knuckles make, by the way, when I crack them.
Oh, that's good. That would be concerning.
Yes.
But
so,
how many Panharmonicons do we give Blade?
You want to start?
I'll start. I give Blade a 4 Panharmonicons. It's a 4 Panharmonicons for me. Again, I like the fact, I do very much enjoy the fact that they didn't feel the need to linger on an origin story, which you see, like you were talking about before, and the formula that we see later on, and that a lot of movies do that. It was something I wanted to ask, but I know we're getting short on time, but it was more just about, it makes me wonder if in these films sometimes that they do it because an origin story makes it easier for you to create a hero that has enough weaknesses to make the struggle more believable. Mainly because that's something that you're always going to have in an origin story. It's the learning curve, right? Of learning my powers or learning my abilities. It's the learning curve of learning the Iron Man armor, the learning curve of learning my Spider-Man powers. It's the learning curve of figuring out what I can do with the super soldier serum. Oh, I can run fast? Holy crap. Especially when you're giving that ability to somebody who spent their entire life being basically very just physically weak in the case of Steve Rogers. And with Blade, they don't do that. But what I like about it is that because of that, halfway through the film, there gets to be this turn of where you've seen him for the first hour of the movie win every battle that he goes into. But then it starts to get a little dicey, where he almost doesn't come out of that scene where they ambush them in like what is seemingly like that library or museum, that then sort of bleeds out into that fight scene in the subway, and then of course him eventually getting captured and all of that. Like you were still able to show him as this force to be reckoned with right out of the gate, but then pivot audience expectations as far as how he will progress through this film and through the story, and be like, no, he can still lose. Like that's still very much a possibility. Just don't get that twisted. So I do think that that's pretty cool. Again, very much a step up from like the special effects that we saw in movies like Spawn. And all around, I think just a lot of cool ideas, and it was very amazing to me that it was able to do what it did. and then still have that success while simultaneously detaching itself from its source materials, from Marvel, you know, really. 4 out of 5 Panharmonicons for me.
We didn't even talk about the super fat vampire.
Yeah.
Oh
true,
God,
yeah.
Pearl.
Yes. Yeah.
How's she right?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't
I
know.
thought they threw out that. I thought they threw out a she at one point, but then I don't. Yeah.
I do gotta say, though I know that Pearl's alignment is evil, there's something about like the screams in that scene that made me feel really bad.
Yeah.
Like every time I watch that, I'm like, damn.
I mean, they're just getting cooked alive.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot to cook, so it's. I think it's just
to the fat fall off.
Yeah.
The problem, of course, is that each time they stop, like Pearl would just start talking shit again. So
Exactly. Yeah,
you can really
true.
feel too much.
Fuck you.
But your uncle's still a bitch.
Ooh. I can go next. I also give it a 4. It is just a very very timely movie. Like it's something that I think we could watch it in 20 years, and I would say it still holds up.
Absolutely.
Of course, like we've gone over, there were some holes that were kind of at least glaring for me, so that's why I didn't get the 5. But it's just such an iconic movie.
Very much so.
Agreed.
4 out of 5 for me as well.
There we go.
When you look at a movie like it's, as far as I'm concerned, it is the best movie that we've seen this month.
Oh, 100%.
By
Hands
far.
down.
Yeah.
And when you look at those the other movies that we watched, as well as like so many other superhero movies, the problem is that they're comic book movies first, and then it's comic book, and then they get to figure out the movie part of it second.
Yeah.
True.
Movies like this, like Blade, Winter Soldier. There are very few movies that really do this well. The Batman, they are the genre first, and then a comic book story is wrapped around that genre.
Yeah.
And this is just an action movie through and through. It is a 80s, 90s action movie. It's just about a dude who is a vampire killing other vampires.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like, that's it. That's all it is. Like, the movie didn't need to be called Blade. It could have just been called like Mordecai or something. Like
Mordecai?
I don't know, like a name of a dude who sounds like he'd be a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Mordecai, right? Mordecai. Definitely a vampire hunter name.
And, like, I mean, like, it's big, like Vampire Hunter D. Something like that's just like like something that is just, I fight vampires. I just happen to be a Marvel backed property.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that the other Marvel movies, that, because obviously Marvel was selling the IP of movies like wildfire at this time because they had gone bankrupt. But like, it's a shame that Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and like Elektra did not follow in suit of these the Blade movies, being like Ghost Rider would have been a great horror movie that just happened to be a Marvel movie first, or like Daredevil, or being like a great, like, maybe like just an action movie or like a mystery, something like that, wrapped around the Daredevil character. Maybe it's because Blade was so much of a lesser known entity that they could just create a mythos onto themselves, and then that's what helped them do it. But either way, like, the movie just, it killed this month, and it killed 90s superhero movies. Like, it is the best 90s superhero movie by far, and one of just the best superhero movies, like, of all time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then,
but that's what we thought about Blade. How many Panharmonicons would you give Blade? Let us know down in the comments below, whether that be on YouTube or Spotify. If you're on YouTube and you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. Mean a lot to us. If you didn't enjoy it, give it a thumbs down. Also means a lot to us because it lets us know if you're digging our stuff or if you're not. If you aren't and you want to tell us why, shoot off below.
Yeah, please do.
If you have not, please hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying what you've been indulging in. And if you are subscribed and haven't, please hit that notification bell. It lets you know the instant that something drops. Farron's been putting out shorts like hotcakes. And if you're not getting the notifications, you're not seeing it.
You're not gonna see him.
If you're on Spotify, I feel like I've been neglecting you guys, but if you want to let us know what you thought, hit that comment section below. Please hit the follow button if you have not, and if you have been listening long enough, it'll let you give us a rating of 1 through 5, letting us know how you are digging our content.
Yes.
But above all else, we'd like to thank you for watching another episode of Panharmonicon Studios Presents,
a movie podcast.
This is Panharmonicon Studios. This has been Damon.
This is Andrew.
And this is Farron.
And thank you for listening. Or watching at this point, yeah.
That's
true. I forget about that part sometimes. Like,
see you next week.
Zastanek Wolframia. Tovarищ.